You have only days, just a little handful of days before the calendar turns and a new year opens its door. And in this very moment, whether you know it or not, you are carrying a money story within you. It is not merely a thought. It is not merely a fear. It is not merely a habit. It is a consciousness. It is a hidden pattern in the mind. A silent agreement you may have made with lack, struggle, delay, debt, disappointment, or limitation. And unless that old money consciousness is changed, it will follow you into the new year like an unpaid bill. Your bank account may change numbers, the calendar may change dates, the world may say, Happy New Year. But if the inner story remains the same, the outer picture will begin to reproduce itself. January will become a copy of December. The new year will wear the garments of the old year. But it does not have to be so. Before 2026 arrives, there is a spiritual reset available to you. There is a change of consciousness so simple, so definite, and so powerful that it begins to dissolve the old financial identity and make room for the new. It is not frantic effort. It is not begging. It is not fear disguised as prayer. It is the spoken word used with authority. It is the soul standing upright and declaring, This old story ends here. So in these final days of the year, begin with what I will call the December decree of new beginnings. Every morning until December 31st, before the noise of the world enters your mind, before you touch your phone, before you check your messages, before you give your attention to bills, emails, or fears, stand still and speak these words aloud. I declare this day the end of my old money story. Every cell of my being is awakening to the consciousness of wealth. I do not carry poverty consciousness into 2026. I command abundance to meet me in the new year, under grace, in perfect and divine ways. Say it slowly. Say it with dignity. Say it as one who knows that the word is creative. For your spoken word is not a little sound floating through the air. It is a spiritual command impressed upon the subconscious mind. It is a seed planted in invisible substance. It is the beginning of new order. This is the reset, but you must understand why it works. You must understand why the last days of December carry a peculiar power. These days are not ordinary days in consciousness. They are threshold days. They are doorway days. They are days when one chapter is closing and another is preparing to open. Humanity, as a whole, enters reflection. People review the year. People remember what they lost. People look at what they gained. People whisper, even if they do not pray, next year must be different. Billions of minds are turned toward endings and beginnings, and that collective motion creates a spiritual atmosphere. It is as though the world itself is taking inventory, and so is your subconscious mind. When you deliberately declare a new money story in December, you are not merely thinking positive thoughts. You are interrupting an old pattern at the very moment when the soul is most ready to release it. You are saying to the invisible world, this is complete. You are saying to the subconscious, this identity is finished. You are saying to divine intelligence, make plain the path of my abundance. And if something in you has awakened as you hear this, pause and acknowledge it. There is a reason you are hearing this teaching now. There is a reason your spirit is being stirred. There is a reason you are being called to speak differently before the new year arrives. You are not here by accident. You are here because your wealth consciousness is ready to be lifted. The great metaphysical teachers have always understood this. Consciousness is always creating. Every dominant thought, every repeated belief, every fear you secretly obey, every word you speak with feeling, is outpicturing itself as circumstance. Your life does not merely happen to you. It reveals the pattern you have accepted within you, and there are certain moments when the invisible becomes visible more quickly. There are moments when transformation seems to move with unusual speed. December is one of those moments. Why? Because the whole world is rehearsing the idea of completion. People are closing accounts. People are making plans. People are saying goodbye to one year and preparing to greet another. Even those who do not understand spiritual law are participating in a ritual of release and renewal. But you will do it consciously. You will not drift into the new year. You will not drag your old fear through the doorway. You will not enter January whispering, "I hope things change." No, you will enter with authority. You will enter with a word. For when you speak with spiritual authority, you are not begging the universe. You are commanding your own consciousness to reorganize itself around truth. You are impressing the subconscious with a new instruction. You are calling the invisible substance of good into visible form. Let me tell you about Catherine. It was December 2019. Catherine had $13 in her bank account. Not 1,300. 13. There were bills stacked on the counter. 2 credit cards were maxed out. Rent was coming due on January 5th, and she had no earthly idea how she would pay it. She was terrified of January. To her, the new year did not look like a beginning. It looked like a threat. Then, on December 20th, someone sent her a spiritual audio teaching. She listened while washing dishes, tired, frightened, and inwardly worn down. And one sentence pierced through her fear: declare the end of the old story. Catherine did not feel full of faith. She did not have a great wave of confidence. She did not even know whether the words would work. But she had reached that holy place where the old way no longer had any power over her. So each morning, from December 20th through December 31st, 12 mornings in all, she stood in her tiny bathroom, looked into the mirror, and said aloud, "My poverty story ends today. I am wealthy in consciousness. Money obeys the word of divine supply spoken through me." At first, the words felt strange. Then they felt stronger. Then they began to feel like truth. On the 5th day, Christmas morning, her sister called. Their grandmother, who had passed 3 years earlier, had left a small inheritance. It had become tangled in probate and nearly forgotten. But the lawyer had finally tracked Catherine down. $4,000. On December 27th, Catherine's $13 became 4,000. Was it magic? No. It was law. It was not that Catherine forced the universe. She ceased agreeing with lack. She spoke a new identity. She declared an ending, and the hidden channels of good, already present in divine mind, began to open. This is the way spiritual law often works. The supply may already exist, but the old consciousness has no opening through which to receive it. The new word creates the opening. Now, you may be thinking, but I have tried affirmations before. I have said positive things, and nothing changed. Let us be very clear. A weak affirmation spoken on top of a strong fear is often like placing a flower over a locked door. It may look beautiful, but it does not open the way. The December reset is different because you are not merely placing positive words over negative beliefs. You are declaring the death of an old identity. You are drawing a line in time and saying, that version of me does not continue. The one who fears the mailbox, the one who avoids the bank account, the one who says, "I can't afford it," before divine supply has had a chance to move. The one who expects disappointment, the one who calls debt normal, the one who thinks prosperity belongs to other people. That identity ends now. That person does not enter 2026. This is the law of substitution. You cannot leave the mind empty. You cannot merely say, "I will stop worrying," and expect worry to disappear. The subconscious mind must be given a new pattern, a new command, a new picture, a new name. You replace fear with faith. You replace lack with divine abundance. You replace panic with poise. You replace "I am trapped" with "the way is opening now." Every time you speak the new word, You are taking the throne away from the old thought. And December gives this act tremendous momentum because the whole year is already moving toward completion. Think of what happens every December 31st. People count down. People celebrate. People announce resolutions. People say, "This year, I will be different." Whether they know it or not, they are practicing consciousness shift. But most people do it emotionally, not spiritually. They do it for one night, not as a sacred decree. They change behavior for a moment, but they do not change consciousness. That is why many resolutions dissolve by February. A person says, "This year, I will save money," but the hidden belief remains. "Money always leaves me." A person says, "This year, I will get out of debt," but the hidden belief remains. "I am buried, and there is no way out." A person says, "This year, I will earn more," but the hidden belief remains. People like me never prosper. And behavior always follows consciousness, always. So the December reset begins at the root. It does not merely trim the branches of your financial life. It goes to the seed. It changes the inner identity from which decisions, opportunities, habits, and circumstances spring. Let me tell you about Michael. In December 2022, Michael was drowning in credit card debt. $53,000 spread across 7 cards. Every month felt like a punishment. Minimum payments, shame, silence. His wife did not even know the full amount. He carried the secret like a weight in his chest. On December 23rd, he found a teaching on the power of the spoken word. He had only 8 days until the new year. He decided those 8 days would become his reset. He did not announce it. He did not perform it for anyone. He simply entered the inner chamber of his own consciousness and began the work. Every morning, before anyone else woke up, he stood before the bathroom mirror and said, "I am not a man in debt. I am a man of divine supply. My wealth consciousness is being reborn now. $53,000 is nothing to infinite intelligence. Money flows to me now, under grace, in perfect ways." He did not know how the debt would be paid. He did not try to force the method. He did not sit for hours calculating every possible rescue. He spoke the word and refused to bow to fear. On January 9th, his company announced retention bonuses for employees who had stayed through a difficult transition the previous year. The company had never done anything like it before. Michael received $28,000 after taxes. 1 week later, an aunt he barely spoke to sent him a check for $10,000. She included a note saying she had been praying and felt strongly that she should help him. By January 20th, $38,000 of his debt was gone. By March, he was completely debt-free. By December of that year, he had $15,000 in savings. What changed first? Not his salary, not his title, not the external conditions. His consciousness changed first. Then circumstances, like obedient servants, began to rearrange themselves. This is not luck. This is spiritual law. Now I want you to participate in this word, not passively, but actively. Say aloud, wherever you are, "My old money story ends now." Say it again. "My old money story ends now." And if you are watching this as a video, write it in the comments. My old money story dies in December 2025. Let the comment section become a field of declarations. Let your word go forth. For a word spoken with faith is never idle. It begins its journey through invisible channels. Now here is exactly how to do the December reset. Step 1. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, before you check your phone, before you look at email, before you give your mind to the world, speak the decree aloud. I declare this day the end of my old money story. Every cell of my being is awakening to the consciousness of wealth. I do not carry poverty consciousness into 2026. I command abundance to meet me in the new year, under grace, in perfect and divine ways. Do not say it as though you are asking permission. Do not say it as though you are hoping someone hears you. Say it like a royal decree. For you are not a beggar in a hostile universe. You are a spiritual being made in the image of creative intelligence. You have the power of selection, the power of attention, the power of word, and the power of faith. Use them. Step 2. Every time an old money thought appears, and it will appear, replace it immediately. If anxiety about a bill rises up, say, "That is my old story. It ends today. My new story is divine abundance. My new story is divine abundance." If fear about the future whispers, say, "That is my old story. Divine order now governs my future." If you look at your bank account and feel panic, say, "That is my old story. I am supplied from visible and invisible channels." Do not fight the old thought. To fight a fear is often to feed it. Simply replace it. Substitution is spiritual wisdom. The mind cannot hold two ruling ideas at the same time. When faith takes the throne, fear must bow. Step 3. Every evening before you sleep, write one sentence in a journal or in your phone notes. Today I lived as a wealthy person in consciousness. Even if the outer picture has not yet changed, even if your bank account looks the same, even if no check has arrived, write it. You are training the subconscious to recognize the new identity as present fact, not future fantasy. The subconscious mind receives repeated declaration as instruction. It does not argue with persistence forever. Sooner or later, the new pattern sinks beneath the surface and begins to govern behavior, perception, choices, and expectation. Step 4. On December 31st, perform a simple release ritual. Write down every money story you are leaving behind. I am always broke. Money does not stay with me. I never get ahead. I am bad with money. I do not deserve wealth. Rich people are greedy. There is never enough. My age is against me. My past has ruined my future. Write them down honestly. Do not decorate them. Do not pretend they are not there. Bring them into the light. Then, if you can safely do so, burn the paper and watch the old words become ash. If burning is not safe, tear the paper into tiny pieces and throw it away with intention. Physical action reinforces spiritual decision. You are telling the subconscious mind, "This is not a mood. This is final." Then take a new piece of paper and write your new money story. I am wealthy in consciousness. Money flows to me in wise and perfect ways. I am divinely provided for. Abundance is my natural state. I receive from expected and unexpected sources. I am financially free in divine order. Prosperity is my birthright, and I claim it now. Read it aloud. Carry it with you into January 1st. Let it be your new identity document. Step 5. Practice gratitude in advance. Every night before sleep, give thanks for the wealth already moving toward you in invisible form. Say, "Thank you for my financial breakthrough. Thank you for the money now flowing to me. Thank you for my abundant 2026. Thank you for opportunities I cannot yet see. Thank you that divine order is arranging every detail." This is not pretending. This is spiritual poise. When you give thanks in advance, you are standing in the consciousness of already receiving. And the consciousness of receiving is the doorway through which manifestation enters. Let me tell you about Jennifer. In December 2023, she had been unemployed for 7 months. Her savings were nearly gone. She had sent out almost 100 applications and had received only a handful of interviews and no offers. She began to think something was wrong with her. She began to believe she was unwanted by the world. That is what delay can do if you let it. It can persuade you that a temporary condition is a permanent identity. But delay is not denial when divine order is at work. On December 18th, Jennifer heard about the December reset. She had 13 days until the new year. She committed herself fully. Every morning she declared, "I am not unemployed. I am between divine appointments. My perfect position is finding me now. My wealth consciousness is activating opportunities I cannot yet see. The invisible is becoming visible in my favor." She said it when she believed it. She said it when she did not believe it. She said it when another rejection arrived. She said it when her bank account shrank. Because the word is not spoken only to report present appearances. The word is spoken to command a new appearance. On January 3rd, only 3 days into the new year, a recruiter called her about a position she had never applied for at a company she had never heard of. They had found her profile. The role was not merely open, it was being created. Interview on January 8th, second interview on January 12th, offer on January 15th. $78,000 a year, $20,000 more than her previous job with benefits she had never had before. The position did not even exist in December. It appeared in January, as though life had designed it for the person Jennifer had become in consciousness. This is why you must not sit back after speaking the word and expect money to fall from the sky while you remain unchanged. The shift happens inside first. You begin to think differently. You begin to notice the opportunity you would have ignored. You answer the call you might have missed. You ask the question you were once afraid to ask. You open the email. You make the appointment. You follow the intuitive nudge. Right action follows right consciousness. This is essential. Spiritual law is not laziness dressed in holy language. It is alignment. It is inspired movement. It is listening. It is speaking the word, and then obeying the guidance that follows. Now let us address the objections that may be moving through your mind. Objection 1. What if I do not believe the words when I say them? Then say them anyway. Belief often follows declaration. It does not always precede it. Your conscious mind may resist because the old program has been repeated for years. But every time you speak with authority, you are overwriting the program. You are not lying. You are choosing the higher truth before the lower appearance has caught up. Objection 2. What if I tried manifestation before and it did not work? Then begin again with understanding. This is not vague wishing. This is not a passing mood. This is consciousness replacement. You are not merely trying to attract money. You are ending the identity that repels, fears, misuses, or cannot receive money. You are becoming the person who can hold prosperity in peace. Objection 3. What if nothing changes by January? Then you continue. The seed does not become a tree the moment it enters the soil. But something has happened. The old consciousness is disturbed. The new consciousness is planted. The invisible work has begun. And in January, you watch for evidence. A door opens. A bill is reduced. Someone mentions an opportunity. A check arrives. A forgotten resource appears. A new idea comes. A conversation shifts. Something moves. Do not despise small signs. A small sign is often the first knock of a great manifestation. Think of what happens if you do not do this. You wake up on January 1st with the same thoughts, the same fears, the same financial identity. By June 2026, you may still be telling the same story. By December 2026, you may again be standing at the edge of another year, wondering why nothing changed. But you can choose differently now. You can use these final days of 2025 to end the old agreement. You can enter 2026 not as a victim of your past, but as a conscious speaker of a new word. Let me tell you about David. David was 52 years old in December 2021. He had $300 to his name. He felt he had failed at life. Everyone around him seemed to be doing better. His children were embarrassed by him, and he was embarrassed by himself. On December 27th, with only 4 days left in the year, he found a teaching on spiritual law. He thought, what do I have to lose? So for those 4 days, and then every morning in January, February, and March, he declared. I am not a broke 52-year-old man. I am consciousness itself expressing as David. Consciousness, infinite supply. My age is irrelevant. My bank account is irrelevant. My past is irrelevant. My wealth is being born now in the invisible, and it will appear in the visible under grace. He stopped trying to figure out how. He simply kept speaking. In February, a friend called and asked whether he wanted to help with a construction project for the weekend. David said yes. That one project led to another. Another contractor heard about him. By May, he had steady work. By September, he had $15,000 saved. By December 2022, 1 year after his reset, he had $32,000 in the bank and the beginning of his own small contracting business. At 53, he began building wealth faster than he had in his 30s or 40s. Why? Because age was never the true prison. The old story was the prison. When the story changed, the prison door opened. Now let us go deeper into the meaning of December. Time is not spiritually neutral. Certain seasons carry particular movements of energy and consciousness. December carries completion and preparation. It is the closing of a cycle. It is the last page of the chapter. It is the hour when what no longer belongs to the future can be released. In nature, especially in winter, there is letting go. Trees release leaves. The ground rests. Life withdraws into hidden places, not because life has ended, but because it is preparing to return in a new form. You, too, are part of divine nature. You, too, may release. You, too, may rest from fear. You, too, may allow the old financial leaves to fall. When you declare the death of your old money story in December, you are aligning with the rhythm of release. You are not forcing. You are flowing with spiritual timing. There is a rhythm to struggle, and there is a rhythm to abundance. December is your interruption point. It is where you step out of the old rhythm and into a new one. Now close your eyes for a moment, if it is safe to do so. See yourself standing at a doorway. Behind you is 2025. Behind you are the fears, the bills, the disappointments, the anxious nights, the old declarations, the smallness you accepted, the opportunities you thought were not for you. In front of you is another door. On the other side of that door is a new version of you, calm, supplied, guided, prosperous, free, not frantic, not begging, not ashamed, but standing in divine authority. Now speak aloud. I walk through the door into my wealthy identity. I leave poverty consciousness behind. I enter abundance now. My word is creative power. My mind is filled with faith. Divine order opens the way before me. I am wealthy in consciousness. It is done. That image and that word have created a spiritual blueprint. Your subconscious mind now has a direction, and the office of the subconscious is to close the gap between the image you accept and the life you experience. Let me tell you about Rachel. In December 2024, she had watched her business decline slowly for 2 years. Expenses were rising. Revenue was falling. She was preparing to close the doors. She felt ashamed because she had given the business everything: time, money, prayer, hope, energy. On December 15th, she began the December reset, not as a marketing strategy, not as a last desperate business trick, but as a consciousness shift. Every morning, she declared, "My business is not failing. My business is reorganizing itself around abundance. Money flows into this business now. Customers find me easily. I am divinely guided in every decision. Right people, right opportunities, and right ideas now come to me." She did not immediately change her marketing. She did not hire a consultant. She first changed the atmosphere of her own mind. In January, 3 new clients appeared. Large clients. Clients she had not pitched. They found her. In February, 1 referred 4 more. By March, she had to hire help. By June, she was profitable for the first time in 2 years. By September, She had more revenue than the previous 2 years combined. By December 2025, she was closing the year in profit. Did the business suddenly become different? No. Rachel became different in consciousness. And the business, which is an exchange of energy, began responding to the new pattern. Now understand this carefully. January is the testing ground. After the December reset, the old story may try to return. Bills may still arrive. Expenses may still appear. The bank account may not instantly change. The old thought may whisper, "See? Nothing happened." This is the crucial moment. This is where many people abandon the new story and crawl back into the old one. Do not do it. Signs follow. They do not lead. You do not wait for wealth to appear before you become wealthy in consciousness. You claim wealthy consciousness first. Then, signs follow in divine order. So, in January, when the old thought rises, speak again. When fear knocks, answer with faith. When the evidence looks unchanged, bless the invisible movement. Every morning in January, add this declaration: the invisible is becoming visible. My wealth is manifesting now. I see evidence daily. Thank you for proof that consciousness creates. Then look for proof. Did someone offer help? Proof. Did a bill come in lower than expected? Proof. Did a new idea arrive? Proof. Did you feel calmer around money than before? Proof. Did you avoid an unnecessary expense because you were guided? Proof. Did someone mention an opening, a client, a job, a gift? Proof. Train the mind to perceive evidence of abundance. What you recognize, you magnify. What you bless, you increase. One final story. Maria was 71 years old in December 2018. She lived on Social Security, about $800 a month, and barely survived. She believed it was too late. She thought, "My money story is already written. I will die poor." Her granddaughter showed her a spiritual teaching. Maria watched it and wept, not because everything had changed, but because one small light entered her heart. She thought, what if it is not too late? From December 20th through December 31st, Maria did the reset. Every morning, she declared, "I am not a poor 71-year-old woman. I am divine consciousness in a body. Age is not my limitation. Lack is not my truth. I am abundant. Money flows to me now, under grace, in perfect ways." In January 2019, a lawyer contacted her about a class action settlement from a company she had worked for 40 years earlier. She barely remembered the matter. $8,000. In February, her church gave her an unexpected love offering. $2,000. In March, her son, who had not helped financially in years. By December 2019, Maria had $17,000 saved and a higher monthly income than she had known in years. At 71, she changed her money story. So do not say it is too late. Do not say you are too old. Do not say you have failed too many times. Do not say your past has authority over divine supply. The past is not your source. Your job is not your source. The economy is not your source. Other people are not your source. Divine intelligence is your source, and it can use any channel it chooses. You have days to shift consciousness, days to declare the end of the old story, days to command your abundant 2026 into form before the year begins. So do the practice. Speak the decree daily. Substitute the old thought immediately. Journal the new identity every night. Release the old story on December 31st. Write the new story and carry it forward. Give thanks in advance. Watch for proof. Follow intuition. Take right action. And remember, your wealth consciousness will never be the same once you stop speaking as the old self and begin speaking as the new. This is not merely motivation. This is spiritual law. Consciousness creates circumstances. Your word gives direction to consciousness. Faith opens the way. Gratitude multiplies good. Divine order arranges what the human mind cannot arrange. So write this declaration now. I speak the word of faith, and divine order now opens my way. Write it in the comments. Speak it aloud. Let it become the first stone in the foundation of your new financial identity. Your old money story ends here. Your new story begins with your word. Speak abundance. Speak order. Speak supply. Speak faith. Speak as one who is guided. Speak as one who is provided for. Speak as one who knows the way is already being made clear. And as you cross into the new year, do not cross as a frightened soul hoping life will be kinder. Cross as a conscious creator under divine law. Cross with your head lifted. Cross with your word established. Cross with this certainty in your heart. I am guided by divine intelligence. My words are filled with power and peace. Divine order now governs every part of my life. I speak only the word of faith, abundance, and right action. The way is made clear before me. Your old money story dies this month. Your new story begins now. Go speak it into life.